Hi, Megan. I'm going to just kind of go down the list of the questionnaire to try and give you the best response I can for your essay for the peer review. I do think your introduction, obviously, kind of say you want an attention grabber, which is great. I think, yeah, it does immediately jump into the information very fast. Um, but overall, I mean, your introduction as far as summary or preview, I think is great. I think you kind of open the door to exactly what the essay is going to be about. Um, I think as far as the draft went as a whole, I think that it's good for what you're trying to say. I think you take a position and then you concretely have each step that analyzes, has your sources to support why you think that this critique is valid, and then you explain it and summarize it. And I think you follow that very thoroughly throughout. Um, and I think it is persuasive. I mean, reading the piece, I also felt as though those positions or those pieces where he brought in thermodynamics and all these like vague science fiction related um, comparisons to time and everything were uh, not the best use in his essay, I guess. Um, Trying to talk about grief. As much as I enjoyed the whole piece, I do think that those sections really did take away from what he was trying to say. But I do think it was persuasive regardless. It's just, I mean, I was already persuaded though. So, um, as far as confusing sections, I mean, I don't know if I found too much confusing. I I think that throughout, I think you find it. I think it all really makes sense. I think you went through it very section by section of the argument and tackled each point in a direct way. I don't know if too much was confusing. Um, yes. My favorite aspect of the draft, I like how thorough. I think if I was to give it a word, um, you really dive into exactly why, how, and where you think that he falls flat and provide the sources that accurately uphold what you're trying to say. Um, and I really enjoyed that part of it. I think it's very thorough. Um, I think that maybe the aspect that needs the more attention is maybe the conclusion. I think you do a great job in summary, but there might be something more to connect to an audience. I think maybe that might be where I would be hoping to see more. It's just a little more of an audience connection. But because you have some, I think, throughout where it's definitely like, well, this is very hard for people to, you know, get out of the essay when they have to confront this like these difficult concepts, especially when it should be focused on the grief and everything. Uh, but maybe just a little more. That'd be my only real critique, where I think it could be improved. Um, and I think again, like earlier, the sources are used great. I think you provide great sources for what you're trying to say, and use them to back up exactly what you want to be said. Um, and I think that's about it. I think overall, it's very good for what you're trying to say. I like that you took a position, and you stuck by it, supported it, were very thorough in your explanation. Overall, it's good.